I rented the cabin with 3 friends for a weekend getaway. Me, Ruby, Dale, and Garrett. 4 people total. But this morning when I woke up, there were 5 of us at the breakfast table. The 5th person was a man I'd never seen before, mid-30s, wearing a faded Grandfather Mountain hoodie and trail pants, eating a bowl of Cheerios like he belonged there. When I asked who he was, everyone looked at me with this confused expression that made my stomach drop. Ruby set down her coffee mug. That's Wayne. He's been with us since college. Are you feeling okay, Jamie? I don't know anyone named Wayne. I've never seen this man before in my life, but everyone else treated him like family, sharing inside jokes I didn't remember, laughing about camping trips I wasn't on. Dale mentioned something about that time at Linville Falls when Wayne almost fell in, and Garrett nodded like it was common knowledge. They were trading stories about someone who didn't exist 12 hours ago. I pulled up the photos from yesterday on my phone. The 4 of us arriving at the cabin off Highway 321, unpacking our bags on the wraparound porch, making spaghetti dinner. But when I looked at them now, Wayne was in every single photo. Standing next to me in shots I remembered taking as selfies, sitting at the table in the background of a picture I took of the view toward Grandmother Mountain. His face was there in the group shot we took in front of the rental's wooden sign that said, Whisperwood Haven. And in one photo, the one I took of everyone laughing over dinner, I caught something that made my hands start shaking. I was looking at Wayne in that picture, and he was looking directly at the camera with an expression of pure terror. His mouth hung open like he was screaming. Even though everyone else in the frame was smiling, his eyes were wrong, wet, pleading. I looked up from my phone. Wayne was staring at me from across the table. His cereal spoon was halfway to his mouth, frozen there. Our eyes met, and for just a second, that same terrified expression flickered across his face. Then he mouthed 4 words. Count again. Count everyone. So I did. Me, Ruby, Dale, Garrett, Wayne, 5 people. But when I scrolled through my emails to find the Airbnb reservation confirmation, I found something that made my throat tighten. The booking I'd made last month clearly stated, party of 6. 6 people. Not 5, not 4. I looked back at the breakfast table. There was an empty chair at the head. A chair no one was sitting in. A chair with a plate in front of it. Scrambled eggs getting cold. Toast untouched. A fork laid carefully beside it. Who's that for? I asked, pointing. Everyone turned to look at the empty chair, then back at me. What do you mean? Ruby asked. That's your seat, Jamie. You were sitting there a minute ago. But I wasn't. I've been standing in the doorway this entire time, haven't I? I pulled the chair out. The one they said was mine. The seat was warm. I need some air, I said, my voice coming out strange and tight. Ruby reached for my arm, but I was already moving toward the back door, past the stone fireplace with its mounted deer head, past the kitchen counter still cluttered with last night's wine bottles. The cabin smelled like pine cleaner and old wood smoke. My hiking boots were by the door where I'd left them, laces still double knotted the way I always tie them. Outside, the morning fog clung to the valley below. We were high up, the cabin perched on a ridge with a view of nothing but mountains and forest. The nearest house was 3 miles down a gravel road. No cell service up here, just the Airbnb's Wi-Fi. I walked to the porch railing and gripped it hard enough that splinters bit into my palms. Behind me, I heard the screen door creak open. You've been acting weird since last night. It was Dale. He came to stand beside me, holding 2 mugs of coffee. He offered me one. Ruby's worried. We all are. Do you really remember Wayne? I asked.
I got away.
Dale took a sip from his mug. What kind of question is that?
But you didn't see a
Just answer it.
location.
Do you remember him from college? Of course I do. He was in our dorm freshman year,
So
room
Sandalo, are you coming
314,
or?
right across from you and me. He was the one who introduced us to Ruby at that party sophomore year. The Halloween one where Garrett showed up dressed as a tree. Dale laughed at the memory. Come on, man, what's going on with you? I didn't remember any of that. Room 314 had been empty our whole freshman year. I remembered complaining about it, how we never got the fourth roommate the housing office promised. What's Wayne's last name? I asked. Dale paused. His coffee mug hovered near his lips. It's Wayne. He trailed off, his expression clouding over. That's weird. I can't remember, but I know it. It's right there. Where does he work? Another pause. Longer this time. He works. He's in. Dale set his mug down on the railing. This is messed up. Why can't I remember? The screen door opened again. Wayne stepped out onto the porch. He was holding a laminated sheet of paper, the kind you'd find in a rental kitchen with instructions for the dishwasher or garbage disposal. His hands were shaking. You need to read this, Wayne said, looking directly at me. Right now. Dale reached for it, but Wayne pulled it back. No, just Jamie. The header at the top said, Whisperwood Haven, House Rules. Below it, 6 rules were typed in courier font. 1. Count your party each morning at breakfast. If the number changes, do not acknowledge it aloud. 2. The chair at the head of the table must always have a place setting. Never remove it. Never sit in it. 3. If someone in your party has no last name in your memory, do not ask them for it. 4. Check your photos once per day, at sunset. If you see yourself in a photo you didn't pose for, leave the cabin immediately. 5. The woodshed behind the cabin is off limits after 8 p.m. If you hear hammering from inside it, go to your room and close the door. 6. On your final morning, count everyone one last time before you leave. If the number is correct, you may go. If not, someone must stay behind.
Okay, are you getting in the car?
My mouth went dry. Where did you find this? It was tucked inside the welcome binder, Wayne said. On the coffee table. It's been there the whole time. Why didn't we see it yesterday? I don't know. Wayne's voice cracked.
I have a friend that's an EMS.
But I remember things you don't remember. I remember being in college with you, Dale. All of you. I remember my childhood, my parents, my apartment in Nashville. But when I try to think about work, or my last name, or what I was doing last week before this trip, he pressed his palms against his temples. There's nothing there. It's like stabbing. Dale had gone pale. He picked up the laminated sheet with careful fingers, reading it over. This is some kind of joke, right? The host is messing with us. But his voice had lost its certainty. I read Rule 1 again. If the number changes, do not acknowledge it aloud. Yesterday we were 4. Today we were 5. And the reservation said 6. We need to wake up Ruby and Garrett, I said. Right now. Wayne grabbed my shoulder before I could move. His grip was strong, almost painful. Read Rule 3 first. Really read it. If someone in your party has no last name in your memory, do not ask them for it. I looked at Wayne. At this moment, I didn't recognize who everyone else swore he'd known for years. This man who couldn't remember his own last name. What happens if we ask? I said.
We'll talk about this later.
I don't want to find out, Wayne whispered. From inside the cabin, we heard Ruby scream. We ran inside. Ruby stood in the living room, phone clutched in her hand, staring at the screen with wide eyes. Garrett was behind her, still in his sleep clothes, looking equally stunned. What's wrong? Dale moved to her side. She turned the phone toward us. I was scrolling through Facebook this morning, through my photos. And look, just look at this. The screen showed her profile. Her cover photo was from last summer, a group shot of the 5 of us on a beach somewhere. Except I remembered that trip. It had been 4 of us, me, Ruby, Dale, and Garrett. We'd gone to Myrtle Beach for a long weekend. In the photo now, Wayne stood between Ruby and me, his arm around my shoulders, grinning at the camera. That's not the weird part, Ruby said, her voice thin. Watch what happens when I try to delete it. She tapped the options menu, selected delete. A confirmation box appeared. Are you sure you want to delete this photo? She hit yes. The screen flickered. Then the photo was back, unchanged. Wayne still there, smiling his ordinary smile. I've tried 15 times, Ruby said. It won't delete. None of them will. And there are hundreds of photos with him in them. Years worth. Birthday parties, graduations, road trips. He's in all of them. Garrett sat down heavily on the couch. Okay, this is seriously messed up now. I handed him the laminated rule sheet. Read this. All of it. While Garrett read, I watched Wayne. He moved to the window, staring out at the forest. His reflection in the glass looked wrong somehow. Too faint, like he wasn't fully there. This can't be real, Garrett said when he finished. This has to be some elaborate prank. Maybe there's hidden cameras or something. One of those YouTube things. Then explain the photos, Ruby said. Explain why I have memories of Wayne that don't make sense. I remember him being at my sister's wedding last year. I was maid of honor. I can picture him sitting at our table. But when I try to remember talking to him that night, or what he said, or who he brought as a date, she pressed her hands over her face. There's nothing. Just this vague sense that he was there. Dale was rereading the rules, his lips moving silently. It says we need to count everyone each morning. We did that. We're 5 now. The reservation says 6, I reminded him. So, someone else is coming? Garrett asked. Wayne finally turned from the window. Or someone's already here. Someone we can't see yet. The temperature in the room seemed to drop. I looked at the breakfast table through the doorway. The empty chair. The place setting with cold eggs and untouched toast. Rule 2, I said. The chair at the head of the table must always have a place setting. Never sit in it. Why? Ruby asked. What happens if someone sits there? None of us have an answer. Dale checked his watch. It's 8:47 in the morning. We have the whole day ahead of us. We could just leave, pack up right now and get out of here. And go where? Wayne said. Back to our lives. I don't have a life to go back to. I don't exist outside this cabin. I'm not in any records. I don't have a job. I checked my wallet this morning. I have a driver's license with no last name. Just Wayne. No address. The photo is me, but the license was issued yesterday according to the date. Yesterday. He pulled out his wallet and showed us. The North Carolina license looked official. Holographic seal, proper formatting. But the name field just said Wayne with no surname. Issue date, yesterday's date. Expiration, tomorrow. How is that possible? Garrett whispered. Wayne's hands were shaking again as he put the wallet away. I don't think I'm real.
come.
I think I'm something this place made.
Okay.
Alright.
And you all... He looked at each of us. You've been rewritten to believe I've always
I
existed.
can't hear you. I gotta go.
Ruby
I
started
love you,
crying
okay?
quietly.
Okay.
Dale put his arm around her, but he looked just as scared. I picked up the rules sheet again. Rule 4 says to check our photos once per day at sunset. If we see ourselves in photos we didn't pose for, we should leave immediately. It's not sunset yet, Garrett pointed out.
Road!
Hours.
Matic in
What
alarm.
about Rule 5? Ruby asked.
Why no
wiping
window
her
good
eyes.
night?
The woodshed.
Officer, you alright?
We're not supposed to go there after 8 p.m.
Oh, wait.
Has anyone even looked at it?
Fully.
I hadn't noticed a woodshed yesterday when we arrived, but then again, I hadn't noticed a 6th rule sheet either.
You hear me?
Let's check it out now, Dale suggested, while it's still morning. Maybe there's something out there that explains
you hear
this. Wayne shook his head. Bad idea. The rules exist for a reason. The rule says we can't go after 8 p.m., Garrett countered. It's morning. We should be fine. Against my better judgment, I found myself agreeing. We needed answers, and sitting in the cabin wasn't giving us any. The 5 of us went outside. The fog had started to lift, revealing more of the road below.
Yo, cross
I
now,
could see
take
the
on the
gravel
road.
road
Just
snaking
meet me.
down through the trees,
Huh?
disappearing around a bend about half a mile down.
Yo, police are
Our
right.
rental
Yeah,
car,
dog.
a blue Subaru Outback, sat in the small parking area, covered in morning dew. Behind the cabin, past a line of rhododendron bushes, we found the woodshed.
I dog them this.
It was larger than expected, maybe 20 feet by 15, built from the same weathered planks as the cabin. A simple wooden door with a sliding bolt lock, currently unlatched. No windows. Should we knock? Ruby asked. The question struck me as absurd and perfectly reasonable at the same time. Dale reached for the door handle. His fingers brushed the wood. From inside, we heard 3 sharp knocks. Then 3 more. Then 3 more, faster this time. Urgent. Someone was inside the woodshed, knocking back.
Shot. One thing.
Dale yanked his hand away.
Go.
We all stepped back, our breathing suddenly loud in the quiet morning.
Bro,
The knocking stopped. For a long moment. Nothing. Just the sound of wind through the pines and the distant call of a crow. Then a voice from inside the shed, muffled but clear enough to understand. Don't open it. Please, don't let me out.
Me not trust nobody.
The voice was mine.
Cause
I was hearing my own voice coming from inside the locked woodshed, begging us not to open the door. Garrett grabbed my arm.
no, you mean?
We need to go back inside, right now. But I couldn't move. I stood there, staring at that weathered wooden door, listening to my own voice pleading from the other side. I'm not supposed to be out yet. It's not time. If you open this door, everything starts over. Count again. Count everyone. Please just count again and go back inside.
Yo, shot.
Wayne pulled at my shoulder.
Yeah.
Come on, we're leaving. Now. We ran back to the cabin. Inside, Dale locked the back door. We all stood in the kitchen, breathing hard, trying to process what we'd just heard. That was Jamie's voice. Ruby said, stating the
You don't
obvious.
know call my woman now and tell her I
That was
said no.
definitely your voice.
Yeah, man.
I nodded, my throat too tight to speak. Garrett walked to the breakfast table. He stopped. His face went white.
Baby, are you
Guys,
okay?
he said,
All of them
count how many of us are here
More than
right
already.
now.
Wait, send me a location,
I looked
baby.
around
You
the
may pull
kitchen.
up on now.
Me, Dale, Garrett, Wayne.
All right.
5 people.
That's what you say.
Now count the chairs at the table, Garrett said.
It's gonna be at the
I turned to
department
look.
store, yeah.
There were 7 chairs around the breakfast table.
No, we need
2
to
of
go
them
to the
had
villa.
place settings in
Remember
front of them.
the villa.
Plates full of
Pick me up,
food that
pick me up,
hadn't
pick
been
me up.
there
I don't wanna
before.
do this, though.
Both plates held the same thing.
Yeah, it's
Scrambled
the suburban.
eggs,
That's
toast,
the suburban.
and a small
And the,
card propped against
by, like,
each glass of
Pearl
orange
side.
juice.
Yeah,
First side. All right.
Yeah,
Cause we're
yeah.
gonna
I picked up
Pearl
the nearest
side.
card. In handwritten script, it said, "Welcome home, Jamie. The other card, I somehow knew without checking, had someone
Send to the
else's name
low.
on
You have
it.
it?
A name I would recognize.
See there?
If you like the stories, please hype the videos from a button like this just above the comment section. It helps the videos to get more reach and perform well. It would take just a few seconds and cost nothing, but would help the channel grow even faster. Thank you. Ruby picked up the second
Look
card
here,
before I
brother.
could stop her. Her
Well,
face
well,
went
well.
slack. The card
Yeah, but
slipped
talk
from
about
her
where fire
fingers
dog.
and fluttered to the
Lick up
floor.
my bike.
That's my brother's name, she whispered. Caleb. He died 3 years ago. Hiking accident near Rome Mountain. The kitchen felt smaller suddenly, the walls pressing in. I bent down to pick up the card. The handwriting was identical to mine, the same card that had welcomed me home. Welcome home, Caleb. He's not here, Dale said quickly, his voice rising.
I'm
There's
good, man. I'm
5
good.
of
I
us.
walk it.
Just
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
We're
I
not
walk
counting
up on me.
anyone
Where?
else. We can't. But even as he said it, I was looking at the 7 chairs. 5 of us standing in the kitchen. 2 empty chairs. 2 place settings with food. Wayne moved to the coffee table and grabbed the welcome binder, a thick black
Yeah.
folder with the cabin's
Yo, remember
information.
EP, you know?
He
See it
flipped
next
through
month,
pages
16.
of restaurant recommendations and hiking trail maps until he found a laminated insert near the back. There's more, he said, holding it up. Additional rules. These weren't on the first sheet. I took it from him. The header read, for extended stays, supplementary guidelines. If you discover you are the only one who doesn't remember someone, you are the newest addition. The mountain is still deciding if you're real. Do not speak about anyone who isn't currently in the room with you. The cabin listens. Mirrors show the truth. If you look in one and see fewer people than are standing beside you, close your eyes and count to 10. The person sitting in the empty chair can see you. Do not make eye contact with empty spaces. If food appears on a place setting that was empty, someone new is arriving within the hour. Within the hour, Garrett repeated, checking his phone. Those plates just
Sharpie,
appeared.
sir, to put up music.
That means
Wait, we have to go to the villa.
a knock at the front door cut him
Yeah,
off.
set.
3 sharp
She never
raps,
sent it.
evenly
Oh, there it is,
spaced.
there it is. She just gave it to
None
me.
of us
Yo,
moved.
man, I'll go up on a villa.
The fog outside had thickened
There it
again,
is.
pressing against the windows like something alive.
Yeah, baby.
Through the front window, I couldn't see anyone on the porch. The knock came
try
again. Same rhythm. 3 beats. Dale started
Alright,
toward
you
the
see it?
door, but Wayne grabbed his arm. Don't. We don't know what's out there. What if it's the host? Dale said. What if they can explain this? Or what if it's whoever those plates are for? Ruby's voice came out ragged. The knocking continued. Patient. Persistent. 3 raps, then silence. 3 raps, then silence.
You took off your
I walked to the window beside the door, careful to stay out of sight. The porch was empty. No car in the driveway except our Subaru. No footprints in the dew-wet boards. But the doorknob was turning.
Yeah.
It's locked, right? Garrett asked. We locked it after we came back in. I watched the brass knob rotate slowly, testing. The deadbolt held. After a moment, the knocking stopped. The knob went still. We waited, barely breathing. Then footsteps, slow, heavy, crossed the porch. Not walking away.
Who have an handcuff, man?
Walking around the cabin toward the back door.
No, man.
The kitchen door, Ruby said, her eyes going wide. Did we... Dale sprinted for the back of the cabin.
Yo, you are going.
We heard him slam the door, the lock clicking into place just as something on the other side pushed against it. Once. Twice. Then stopped. Dale came back, his face flushed. Whatever that was, it's strong. I felt it testing the door.
Something.
Felt what? I asked. Did you see anything?
So yeah,
No. The fog's too thick back there. But I heard breathing. Really heavy breathing, like someone
Where
who'd been
show are they?
running.
Oh, okay.
Wayne had gone
Come
very
on.
still, staring at the breakfast table. Count the chairs again. I turned. 8 chairs now. 3 of them had place settings. The newest plate held something different. Not eggs and toast. A small wooden carving of a bird. A crow, maybe. And beneath it, another card. None of us wanted to touch it. We need to check the mirrors,
Yeah.
I said, remembering the supplementary rules.
The
Right now.
charge is here, okay, baby?
The bathroom was down the
Yeah,
hall,
take it. Yeah,
past
put it
2
in.
small bedrooms.
So,
We crowded into the
we're
doorway,
gonna tell them
looking at our reflections in the mirror above the sink.
Fraudulent
5
activity.
people.
We were
Yo,
never
get
here.
yo, sis.
Ruby,
Get some leads, you know.
Dale,
I
Garrett,
would have stayed some banging
Wayne.
line quick and fast.
But the mirror showed 3. Just me, Ruby, and Dale stared back from the glass. Garrett and Wayne had no reflections.
Oh, come.
Garrett saw at the same moment I did.
Come.
He lifted his hand, waved it in front of the mirror.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yo, need some leads. Yo.
No reflection.
Sis, if I can get some number out tonight.
His face went gray.
I'm gonna call 2 thing.
Oh God.
Yo.
I know, say, yeah,
Yo.
Oh God, I'm not real either. I'm like Wayne. I'm...
You want to do what?
Stop talking, Ruby said sharply. Close your eyes. Count to 10. That's what the rule says. We closed our eyes. I counted silently, my pulse hammering in my ears. 1, 2, 3. The bathroom smelled like mildew and pine. 4, 5, 6. Behind my eyelids, I saw patterns, fractals of light that made no sense. 7, 8,
Baby,
9,
Don't come. I
10.
don't come. Me go do work.
I opened my eyes.
You just enough.
The
We're
mirror
in
now
it
showed
together.
5
We mean
people,
together. You,
all of us,
you make.
including Garrett and Wayne.
You nearly got jail, little
But there
girl.
was a 6th figure, standing behind us in the reflection.
Appreciate that.
A man I didn't recognize, wearing old-fashioned hiking clothes, wool trousers, a canvas jacket.
Okay.
His face was
Then don't
weathered,
come on the road.
his
Then
eyes
don't
dark
come on the
and
road if you
hollow.
hurt your feelings.
In the reflection, he was reaching out toward Ruby's shoulder. I spun around. The bathroom was empty behind us.
God.
Just the
Today
5
was
of
a
us
rough
crowded in the
Oh,
doorway.
dear.
Did
Oh,
you see?
Drop down, sir.
I started. Don't talk about anyone
Oh,
who isn't
God,
in
Father
the
God,
room.
thank you for life.
Wayne interrupted, his voice tight.
Yeah, is that
The cabin listens.
Me no want to see them more master.
That's
right
rule
now,
7.
I'll tell you the truth.
We
That was
backed
a
out of
rough
the
day, man,
bathroom.
I tell you. Oh,
The
God.
hallway felt longer than before.
Oh,
The walls
look how
seemed
they
to
pop this
stretch.
floor.
I counted my steps back to the living room. 12.
That too?
I'd counted 8 on the way in. In the living room, I stopped. There was someone sitting in one of the empty chairs at the breakfast table. A young man, early 20s, with Ruby's same auburn hair and sharp cheekbones. He sat very still, staring at the plate in front of him. At the card with his name. Caleb. Ruby made a small, broken sound.
Yeah.
That's not possible.
I can't believe
He's
I
dead.
did that. Huh?
I went to his funeral. I spoke at his funeral.
Yeah.
But Caleb sat there, solid and real, wearing the same green pullover he'd worn in his college photos.
Everybody top of his screen. Big up everybody.
He didn't look at
Yo,
us.
remember say
His eyes were
go
fixed
over
on
to the
something
purple,
across the room,
No, me never, a long
the
time
empty
enough
chair
place,
at the head of the table.
you know?
Don't make eye
A
contact
long
with
time
empty
enough place, so you don't
spaces,
know anything, no.
Garrett whispered.
Is it?
That's what the rules said.
Oh, no. No, me I enjoy
I followed
myself.
Caleb's
No, I
gaze.
enjoy myself too.
The chair at the head of the
Is it?
table was still empty.
Boy,
No
it was
plate
a
setting
night,
now.
boy. Me I tell you the truth.
But as I watched,
was a night.
the seat cushion
It's a
compressed,
night.
like
know
someone
me?
had just sat down,
Big up everybody. Hey, chat, me
The
set
whole
some live
cabin
goal, chat.
creaked.
See if you can get to my live
not
goal,
from
yeah.
wind,
Wait.
from weight, from something settling into that chair.
No, if you not said live goal, let me know.
Caleb spoke without looking at us, his voice
Road to
flat and
30K.
distant.
Body top of the screen.
You need to count
Yo,
again.
chat, me I tell you.
There are too
winning
many.
Season.
The
Somebody put
mountain
winning
only
season.
needs
Everybody on the can go,
6.
on the can listen, on the can go pre-save
6
right
what? Dale
Is it?
asked.
now. On the can go pre-save
6
for
to
Apple
stay.
Music, Spotify, everywhere.
6 to remember.
The EP
6 to become part of the
I drop
valley.
next month.
Caleb
Is it
finally turned his
January
head.
16.
His eyes
It's a
were
big
wrong,
project.
too dark,
Is it? Must
like
spend
looking
a
into
whole lot of time
wells.
on the project there. But
The
just
rest
want
go
to hear
back
me,
to being
but
nothing,
not like it.
back to being
First of all,
possibilities that
now listen
never
to the EP
happened.
and then come back and tell
Ruby
me,
stepped
man.
forward. Caleb,
We
It's
boy
me.
not chat, no boy.
It's your
Headshot.
sister.
Boop, boop, boop.
I don't understand what's happening.
Everybody double in our
You're
chat
not
for
my
Weibo chat.
sister,
Yeah,
Caleb said.
maddest care dev ever.
My sister died on
Is it?
Rome Mountain 3 years
Yeah,
ago.
Weibo, I pray.
I watched her fall.
Alright, I link up on
I
Discord,
watched her
my
break
dog.
on the
No,
rocks,
man.
but I couldn't save her because I was
Steve,
already
appreciate
dead.
it.
I'd
Yeah,
fallen
winning
first,
season.
remember?
Winning season,
Ruby,
chat,
you
know,
have
big
to
W we are
remember.
dealing with next year.
Ruby
Well,
shook her
every
head,
year, no matter
tears
which year,
streaming
that we are
down her
dealing
face.
straight. Is it? We just
No,
continue.
no, that's not
Is it?
right.
Appreciate
You
it. Big up
fell.
everybody upon
You
the work,
died.
Falcon,
I got the call from the park rangers. I dash.
Falcon, you know,
Check your phone, Caleb said. Look at your emergency contacts. Who's listed as your next of kin? With shaking hands, Ruby pulled out her phone. She scrolled through her contacts, then her face crumpled. It says Caleb Morrison, emergency contact. That's my last name. But the number, she looked up at us, devastated. The number is mine. I'm listed as my own brother's emergency contact, but the name is backwards. Dale grabbed the phone from her. His expression shifted from confusion to horror. Ruby, what's your last name? Morrison. Ruby Morrison. And Caleb's last name? Morrison. We're siblings. Of course we have the same. She stopped. Her face went blank. I don't remember. I can't remember my last name. I know it's Morrison. But when I try to think about why, or about my parents, or about growing up with Caleb, she pressed her palms against her temples. There's nothing there. Just static. Wayne walked over to Caleb and stood in front of him. They looked at each other for a long moment. How long have you been here? Wayne asked. 3 days, Caleb said. Or 3 years. Time works differently in the cabin. When I first arrived, there were 4 people at breakfast. By lunch, I was the 5th. By dinner, everyone remembered me from childhood. By the next morning, I couldn't remember how I got here. And the person in the empty chair? That's the mountain, Caleb said. That's what decides. It sits there every meal, watching, choosing who stays and who fades. From outside, through the thickening fog, I heard something strange. My own voice calling from the woodshed. Let me out. It's been 3 years. Please. I'm so cold. Just let me out, and I'll explain everything. I promise. Jamie, please. But I was standing right here. Wasn't I? I looked down at my hands. They seemed slightly transparent in the dim light, like old photographs fading with age. Count again, Caleb said softly. Count everyone at the table. Count carefully this time. I looked around the room. Me, Ruby, Dale, Garrett Wayne, Caleb. 6 people. The reservation had been for 6. No, Dale said, backing away from the table. This is wrong. We came here with 4 people. 4. Me, Jamie, Ruby, and Garrett. That's it. That's the truth. Is it? Caleb tilted his head. Look at your phone. Check your text messages. See how many people are in your group chat. Dale pulled out his phone with jerky movements. His face went slack as he scrolled. There are 6 of us in the group chat. 6 numbers. And we've been texting all week about this trip. Planning what to bring, who's driving, what time to meet. He looked up, his eyes wet. I remember writing these texts. But I don't remember writing to Wayne. Or to you, Caleb. But here they are. Timestamps, everything. Wayne sat down heavily in one of the chairs. Not the empty one at the head. None of us would touch that. He put his head in his hands. I need to show you something, Wayne said. I found it this morning before anyone woke up. He pulled a folded piece of paper from his pocket. The creases were worn, like it had been opened and closed many times. He smoothed it out on the table. It was a missing person flyer. The photo showed Wayne, Same face, same build, but the clothes were different.
Alright, that's
Older.
That
The
one a
text beneath
compliment.
read, Wayne Sullivan, missing since October 2022. Last seen on the Appalachian Trail near Blowing Rock. If you have any information, please contact Watauga County Sheriff's Department. That's 3 years ago, Ruby whispered. I know, Wayne said. I found this in the welcome binder, tucked behind the trail maps. And there's more. He pulled out 4 more flyers. Each one showed a different missing person. Each one last seen somewhere in the Appalachian Mountains. Each one from a different year, going back over a decade. One of them showed the weathered man I had seen in the bathroom mirror. His name was Thomas Prather, missing since 2015. The cabin collects people, Caleb said quietly. Missing hikers, lost travelers, people who went into the mountains and never came back. It pulls us out of the spaces between existing and not existing, gives us memories, gives us histories, makes us real enough to remember, but not real enough to leave. Why? Garrett asked. His voice came out small and scared. What's the point? The mountain is lonely, Caleb said. It's been here for millions of years, watching things live and die. Seasons change, civilizations rise and fall. Somewhere along the way, it learned to want, to need company. So it keeps us, 6 at a time. When one of us finally fades completely, becomes nothing, it reaches out and pulls in a replacement. I looked at my hands again, more transparent than before. I could see the wood grain of the table through my palms. That's what's happening to me, I said. I'm fading. No. Ruby grabbed my arm. Her fingers passed through it slightly before finding purchase. No, Jamie. You're real. You're my friend. We've known each other since college. You were there when I got my acceptance to graduate school. You helped me move into my apartment. You're real. Am I? I pulled my arm back. Or are those just memories the cabin gave you? How do you know what's true anymore? Ruby opened her mouth to answer, but nothing came out. Dale walked to the window. Outside, the fog had grown so thick that the forest was barely visible. We need to try to leave. Just get in the car and drive down the mountain. Maybe once we're away from here, everything goes back to normal. It won't work, Caleb said. I've tried. We've all tried. The road loops back. You drive for an hour and you're right back at the cabin. Or you get to the bottom of the mountain and realize you forgot something essential. Your wallet, your keys, and you have to come back. The mountain doesn't let go easily. Garrett checked his watch. It's almost noon. Sunset isn't for hours. That's when we're supposed to check our photos again. What do you think we'll see? Ruby asked. The truth, Wayne said. Whoever's really here and whoever's not. A thought occurred to me. The woodshed. There's someone in there using my voice. What if that's the real me? What if I'm the copy? The room went quiet. Don't think like that, Dale said, but he wouldn't meet my eyes. I stood up. The movement felt strange, like I was lighter than I should be. I need to know. We need to open that shed and see what's inside.
Who are you on the phone with?
Rule 5 says the woodshed is off limits after 8 p.m., Garrett reminded me. It's noon. Technically, we could go look. Bad idea, Caleb said. The rules exist for reasons. They're the only things keeping this place from taking you completely.
Who were you on the phone?
I'm already disappearing, I said, holding up my fading hands.
Who were you on the phone?
What's left to take?
Oh, bullshit.
Wayne stood.
On vacation
I'll come with you.
You're not no money, but you're definitely on the phone
If
with
there are
Gal.
2 of you, maybe we can figure out which one is real.
I heard you. I was standing right
Ruby shook her head.
door.
We should stay together.
Who was skin out though?
All of us. but I was already moving toward the back door. Wayne followed. After a moment's hesitation, so did everyone else. Outside, the fog wrapped around us like wet gauze. The temperature had dropped since morning. I could see my breath, and Wayne's, and Dale's, but not my own. My breath left no visible trace in the cold air. We approached the woodshed. The door was still closed. The bolt still unlocked. From inside, silence. Hello? I called out. Is anyone in there? No response. Wayne reached for the door handle. His fingers brushed the wood. The knocking started again. 3 sharp raps, then 3 more. Faster now. Frantic. And then my voice, muffled but clear. Don't open it. I'm warning you. I'm not ready. It's not time yet. The mountain hasn't decided. Decided what? I yelled at the door. Which one of us gets to be real? My voice answered. Which one stays, and which one goes back to being nothing? If you open this door before sunset, we'll both fade. We'll both become possibilities that never happened. Dale stepped forward. If Jamie's in there, and Jamie's out here, then which one is real? A long pause. Then, does it matter? We're both equally fake, both equally real. The mountain makes us from memories and desires and lost chances. We're all just echoes. Echoes that learn to believe they're people. Ruby was crying again. Silent tears running down her face.
We have a child together.
How do we fix this? Garrett asked. How do we make it stop? You don't. My voice said from the shed. You wait until the mountain decides. You wait until someone fades completely. Then the rest of you get to stay a little longer, believing you're real, until it's your turn to fade too. Caleb had been quiet, but now he spoke. There's another way. The rules don't say it, but I figured it out. Someone can volunteer. Someone can choose to become the sacrifice, to go into the empty chair. We all turned to look at him. What happens if someone sits in that chair? I asked. They become the mountain's anchor, Caleb said. They become the thing that keeps the rest of us real. But they stop being themselves. They become part of the cabin, part of the mountain, part of the fog. They sit at that table forever, watching each new group arrive, watching them discover the rules, watching them fade or stay or volunteer. How do you know this? Dale asked. Caleb smiled sadly. Because I can see them. All of them. Everyone who's ever sat in that chair. They're all still there, stacked in the same space, watching us with dead eyes. Ruby made a choked sound. That's who was in the mirror. Caleb continued. Thomas Prather. He sat in the chair 5 years ago so his hiking group could leave. But he's still here, still watching, still anchoring. And there are dozens more beneath him, going back decades, maybe longer. Thunder rumbled overhead, though there had been no clouds when we arrived. From the woodshed, my voice spoke one more time. 4 hours until sunset. 4 hours until you check the photos and see who's really in them. Someone's going to fade before then. I can feel it. The mountain is deciding right now. I looked at my hands. They were barely visible now, just ghostly outlines. It's choosing me, I said. I'm the one who's going to fade. Wayne grabbed my shoulder. His hand passed through it partially, like grabbing smoke. Then we volunteer someone else. We make the choice before the mountain does. Volunteer who? Dale asked. We all looked at each other. 6 people. 6 friends who may or may not be real. 6 sets of memories that might be nothing more than the mountain's lonely imagination. The empty chair waited inside. Caleb walked back toward the cabin without another word. We followed, leaving the woodshed behind, leaving my voice behind, leaving the question unanswered. Inside, the table had changed again. 7 chairs now, 1 empty, 6 occupied, but I couldn't tell which one was new. We sat at the table for a long time, not speaking. The empty chair at the head seemed to hum with presence, not a sound,
What the fuck are you doing?
but a feeling, like standing near high-voltage power lines.
Brad said he's outside. I'm
Dale
like,
finally broke the silence. We need a plan.
Don't stop it.
Sitting here waiting to disappear isn't an
No,
option.
we literally came to Atlanta so you
What
could take me on
plan?
a romantic
Garrett
date.
asked.
But you
Drive
busted
down
me
a
off.
road that loops back, run into fog that never ends. We're trapped. No, Ruby
Brad
said,
is outside
wiping her
being-
face.
I'm gonna change.
There has to be something we're missing. Some detail in the rules, some loophole. Wayne stood and retrieved both rule sheets from where they'd been scattered on the coffee table. He laid them out side by side, reading carefully.
Darling,
Rule 6, he said. On your final morning, count everyone one last time before you
Did even plan
leave.
the date for us?
If the number is correct, you may go. If not,
Yeah, that's the whole
someone
reason
must
why we're
stay
in
behind.
Atlanta.
What's the correct number? I asked. My voice sounded distant, even to my own ears. Maybe it's
You're
4,
my clothes.
Dale
No,
said.
No. You're not
That's how
leaving.
many we started
Hello,
with.
I'm changing my clothes and I'm coming
If we
on
can
the
get
road.
back to 4, maybe the mountain lets us go.
Oh,
Caleb shook his head. It's not that simple.
no.
The correct number is whatever the mountain decides it is. It changes. I've watched it happen before. Before? Ruby leaned forward. You said you've been here 3 days or 3 years. Have you seen other groups come through? I see them in the mirror, Caleb said. When I look in the bathroom mirror, sometimes I don't see this cabin. I see different times, different versions. Groups of college kids, families, couples, all of them trying to figure out the rules, all of them making the same discoveries we are. What happens to them? Garrett asked. Some leave. Most don't. The ones who leave? Caleb paused, his eyes going distant. They leave wrong. Changed. I saw a family pack up and drive away, and when I checked the mirror an hour later, I saw them again. Same family. Same cabin. Same day. Like time had looped back. But they didn't remember the first time. They thought it was their first day. The temperature in the cabin dropped. I wrapped my arms around myself but couldn't feel my own touch. My body was becoming suggestion rather than substance. There's something else, Wayne said, still reading the rules. The supplementary guidelines mention truth. Mirrors show truth. Photos at sunset show truth. What if there's a way to see the real truth? To understand what this place actually wants? It wants company, Caleb said. I told you. It's lonely. But why? Ruby pressed. Mountains don't get lonely. Mountains don't need people. This one does, Caleb said. Something happened here. Something that made it aware, made it hungry for what it can never be. Alive the way we are, capable of ending, capable of dying. Thunder rolled again, closer this time. The windows rattled. It's listening, Caleb whispered. Stop talking about it. But Dale wasn't done. If it wants to be alive, then maybe we can bargain. Trade something. Give it what it wants in exchange for letting us
Why
go.
weren't you answering your phone?
The lights flickered. Once, twice. Then the voice came, not from any direction, but from everywhere at once. From the walls, the floor, the air itself. Old and vast and patient. Count. We looked at each other. Nobody wanted to be the one to say
Why
it.
you want left way?
1, Wayne finally said, pointing at himself. 2, he pointed at Dale. 3, 4, 5, 6, he pointed at each of us in turn, ending with me. 7,
When is
the
our
voice
date? Are
said.
we not supposed to be going
We
on
counted
dates?
again. 1,
Are we
2,
not supposed to be going on
3,
a date? Like, I don't
4,
understand.
Me and the dog
5,
will sort out some
6,
business and get some
7,
funds.
the voice insisted. There are only 6 of us, Ruby said, her voice shaking. The empty chair's cushion compressed. Something sat down. We could all see it now. Not clearly, but enough. A shape made of shadow and fog and memory.
Yo.
It had the suggestion of a human form, but wrong proportions. Limbs too long. Head tilted at an angle that hurt to look at directly. It spoke with the mountain's voice. 7 are here. 1 is fading. 1 is trapped. 1 is borrowed. 1 is stolen. 1 is volunteered. 1 is forgotten.
I mean,
1 is real.
Which
one is real? I asked. The shape turned its head toward me, where eyes should be. There was only darkness deeper than the fog outside. Guess, it said. Then it vanished. The chair was empty again. Garrett stood up fast enough to knock his own chair backward. I can't do this. I can't sit here playing games with some mountain ghost. We're leaving, right now, all of us. We'll drive until we run out of gas if we have to. We tried that, Caleb said. It doesn't work. You tried it alone, Garrett shot back. What if we all go together? What if we refuse to play its game? Dale was nodding. He's right. We've been reactive this whole time, following rules, accepting what we're told. What if we just break everything all at once? Wayne looked uncertain. The consequences are that we fade away or sit in that chair forever, Dale said. I'd rather go down fighting. Ruby pulled out her phone. It's 3:47, a little over an hour until sunset, until we have to check the photos. What if... She paused. What if we check them now? See what happens if we break Rule 4. That's insane, Wayne said. All of this is insane, Ruby countered. She was already scrolling through her photo gallery. I'm checking. Don't, Caleb said, but he made no move to stop her. Ruby pulled up a recent photo, the one from yesterday, the 5 of us arriving at the cabin. Her finger hovered over it. She tapped it. The photo opened. Wayne was in it, standing next to her. She swiped to the next one. Wayne was there too. And the next. Wayne in every picture, smiling his ordinary smile. Nothing's happening, she said. Then her phone screen went black. Not off black, like someone had painted the screen with pitch. Text appeared, white letters on the black screen. You weren't supposed to look yet. The lights in the cabin went out. In the sudden darkness, I heard breathing. Not from any of us, from something else. Something that had been waiting.
No, that's exactly what
Get to the car, Dale said. Now. We stumbled toward the front door, colliding with furniture, with each other. I couldn't feel my legs anymore. I was moving on instinct alone. Wayne reached the door first and yanked it open. The fog outside had turned red. Not the red of sunset. That was still an hour away. The red of old blood, of rust, of things that shouldn't be red. And standing in the fog, maybe 20 feet from the cabin, was a figure. It was me, or it looked like me. Same height, same build, same face. But its eyes were holes, empty spaces where eyes should be. And it was smiling too wide, the corners of its mouth extending past where human mouths should end. Hello, it said with my voice. I've been waiting to meet you. Behind it, more figures emerged from the red fog. Duplicates of all of us. Wayne, Dale, Ruby, Garrett, even Caleb. Each one long in small, terrible ways. Too many fingers. Eyes that didn't blink. Mouths that moved but didn't sink with their words. The mountain made us, my duplicate said. Made us from the pieces you left behind. The bad dreams, The anxieties,
Bad
the
stigma.
versions of yourselves you're afraid of becoming.
There's no
We're what
trust
happens when
whatsoever.
you
Listen,
fade,
alright, babe, listen.
when you give up being
The way I do?
real.
Send me a
We get to
location,
take your
and I will be
place.
there. Me and girly
Garrett
girl
slammed
go
the
on
door
road,
shut.
two things too,
Back
and
door.
I don't know her.
Try
I'm
the
not
back
even
quote.
friendly, you know this.
We rammed through
But
the cabin.
that no matter.
My duplicate's laughter followed us,
Get to know each
seeping
other.
through the walls. At the back door, Dale
And I'm
threw it
out.
open. More duplicates waited there. An army of wrong reflections standing
Yeah,
in the
big
red
man on this
fog,
shit.
all
Me a man
wearing
of
our
yard. Me wear the
faces.
pants, I wear everything in us.
The wood
Bitch,
shed,
remember, me do
I
yard.
said.
You see?
My voice
No, no,
said
no,
something
me
about the
talk.
mountain
No, me
hasn't
talk.
decided
No, no, me
yet.
talk, so me talk to film, girl, me I
Maybe
say,
that's
me
where
not
we
talk
need to
this.
go.
know,
You can't
when me
go
left
in the
yard, me
woodshed,
I tell the straight, say, yo,
Caleb
baby,
said.
watch it now. Man of yard thing,
That's
you
where
know.
the real
I tell
versions
you.
are kept.
You see?
The originals. If you go in before the mountain decides, you'll both collapse into nothing.
Oh.
Then maybe that's the
No
answer,
time.
I said. I
No
looked at my
time, baby
hands,
girl.
Would never disrespect
barely
me.
there
mad?
now.
You're crazy.
Just
Come on,
ghost impressions.
Come on, get sick in here.
Maybe becoming nothing is how we escape. The duplicates were at the windows now, pressing their faces against the glass. Their features stretched and warped as they pushed through.
Jam.
The empty chair, Ruby said suddenly. Someone has to sit in it.
Of course, men have things to
That's
do.
the only
Okay,
way to reset everything. To make the mountain choose. Choose what?
Eh?
Wayne asked. Choose who stays and who goes.
Why
Tom?
you move so fast?
Who's real
Tom?
and who's not.
What you mean?
Ruby's voice
move
was
so
steady
fast?
now, resigned.
Yeah, next one. Don't make me have
Someone has to
don't
anchor
make
the
me have to lift
rest.
up your whole piece of slug, you know.
Someone has to volunteer. I'll do it,
Hey, yo.
Caleb said
Who not try to
immediately.
piss me off, boy? Yeah?
I'm already dead anyway.
You know, to try piss me. You
I
know,
died
me take
3
a
years
breeze.
ago on
Okay,
that
this a shit
mountain.
I take-
This is
this
just
me I-
borrowed
this I get for
time.
out hand. May I take some breeze?
No.
Me don't want nobody back on
Ruby
me. May I
said.
take some breeze?
If you're my brother, I'm not losing you again.
May I take some breeze? Me don't need nobody back on me
already
right now. Me
lost
murder
me,
everybody in that
Caleb
shit,
said
man.
gently.
Some people that...
You're
yeah,
just
you know, so don't
remembering
piss
it
me
now.
off, boy, you know. Me
The
kill
front
all them
window
people out there,
shattered.
so yo, dog.
The
me a
duplicates
madman
started
in a dog.
climbing through. We had seconds to decide. I'll do it, I said.
Yeah.
I'm already fading.
Brad, man, take a breeze, bro.
I'm already almost nothing. You don't know that, Dale said. You could be the real one. Or I could be the trap, I said. Either way,
Brad, watch it up. I
this
murder
ends
everything
now.
about this, dog. Yo, man,
I
yo,
walked
man,
toward the
done with
breakfast
this shit,
table,
bro.
toward the empty chair
Brad,
ahead,
yo, come give me a
toward the
drive
space that thrummed
no,
with
no, no,
ancient
no, no,
hunger
no,
and
no,
loneliness.
I already told you.
Yo, man, I tell you that thing
duplicates
already.
froze.
Me need a break. Give me a break. Just give me 5 minutes. Give me 5.
Their heads turned
Five
in perfect
minutes.
synchronization
Okay.
to watch me.
Go on, go on.
I put my hands on the back of the chair.
Yo,
Even through my
Yo,
fading
man,
fingers, I
yo.
felt it. Cold beyond cold. Old beyond old.
yo, my girl, no, yo, you
Hungry
messing with that.
beyond hungry.
Yo, me can't take this shit.
If I
bro.
do
Me
this,
that, me that. Yo, go
I
give me
said
a
to the
drive. Go show
mountain,
me a place, dog.
You let the
I mean,
others
just murder
go.
everything, dog, and just call
You
it a
let them
day,
be
bro.
real.
That me I
You give
take,
them
dog.
back their lives. The mountain's
me-
voice filled the cabin again.
Hold on, man. Tell
Drive,
that.
Agreed.
dog. Yo,
Mac.
yo, me bomb up
Ruby
this shit, man,
screamed.
dog.
Jamie, don't.
Me
But I
say-
was
yo,
already
where's
sitting
C4?
down. The world exploded into sensation.
Yo,
Thousands of lifetimes poured
where's
into me at
C4 then?
once. I felt every person who'd ever sat in this chair.
Me just want to
Tom's
drive out,
Prowler,
bro. Take some fresh
names
shit,
I'd
dog.
never
Cause
known.
right now,
Hikers
she
and
pregnant, dog,
travelers and
I'm
lost
not telling her,
souls,
calm down, steer
going
everybody.
back decades,
Look up on the road, bro.
centuries. All of them still here, still aware, stacked in the same
Brad,
space.
Me a madman in a
And I
dog.
felt the mountain's vast consciousness wrapping around me, like roots growing through soil. I became anchor. I became witness. I became the thing that kept the others real. Through new eyes. Eyes that saw past and present and future all at once. I watched my body fade completely. Watched my friends stumble backward. Watched the duplicates dissolve into red fog. And I watched the sunrise 3 years ago when Ruby fell from that cliff face. Watched Caleb try to save her. Watched them both disappear into the ravine. Watched Wayne's last moments on the Appalachian Trail before the storm took him. Watched Dale's car accident on Highway 321. Watched Garrett's heart give out during the night hike. The mountain had collected us all, made us real again, given us one more chance to exist, to remember, to matter. And now I was the one keeping that gift alive. From my chair, I watched them scramble backward, their faces twisted with horror and confusion and grief. Ruby's mouth formed my name, but I heard it from a distance, like she was shouting from the bottom of a well. The duplicates were gone. The red fog outside shifted back to gray. The shattered windows sealed themselves, glass fragments rising from the floor and fitting back into place like a film played in reverse. The cabin was resetting. Jamie? Wayne's voice reached me, thin and uncertain. Can you hear us? I could, but I couldn't answer the way I used to. My throat was still there. I could feel it, but my voice belonged to the mountain now. When I spoke, it came out layered, multiple tones speaking in harmony. I hear you. They flinched at the sound. Dale stepped forward cautiously. What's happening to you? I looked at my hands. They were solid again, but not the same. My skin had taken on a gray cast, like stone weathered by centuries. My fingernails looked more like small pebbles. When I blinked, I saw not just the cabin, but every version of the cabin that had ever existed. Wood rotting and being replaced. Paint peeling and being reapplied. Seasons cycling through at speed. I'm becoming part of it, I said. Part of the mountain. I can see everything now. Every person who came before. Every choice that led them here. Can you see us? Ruby asked, her voice breaking. Can you see what we were? I nodded. The gesture felt strange. My neck moving in ways that shouldn't be possible. You were hiking Roan Mountain 3 years ago, I said, looking at Ruby. July 15th. You and Caleb. The trail was wet from recent rain. You slipped on a rock face near the summit. Caleb grabbed for you, but you both went over. They found your bodies 2 days later in the ravine. The newspaper called it a tragic accident. Your parents buried you together in Boone Cemetery. Ruby's knees buckled. Garrett caught her before she hit the floor. Wayne, I continued, turning my gaze to him. October 2022. You were section hiking the Appalachian Trail, trying to complete the whole thing over several trips. You got caught in an early snowstorm near the Nantahala Outdoor Center. Hypothermia set in fast. You tried to make it back to the shelter, but you got turned around in the whiteout. They found your body 3 weeks later, half a mile from safety. Wayne sat down heavily, his face blank. Dead. New Year's Eve last year. You were driving home from a party in Lenoir on Highway 321. Black ice on Wilson Ridge. Your car went through the guardrail and dropped 80 feet into the gorge. The impact killed you instantly. Your funeral was January 7th. Dale's hands covered his face. Garrett, you were hiking Grandfather Mountain 6 months ago. The summit trail. Your heart stopped. Just gave out without warning. A family found you sitting on a boulder, looking out at the view. They thought you were resting. It took them 10 minutes to realize you weren't breathing. Garrett stared at me, tears streaming silently. And Caleb, I said, looking at Ruby's brother. You died the same moment Ruby did. You held onto her hand the whole way down. Even after you hit the rocks, your fingers were still locked with hers. The rescue team had to separate you. The cabin was silent, except for the sound of Ruby sobbing. So we're all dead, Wayne finally said. We've been dead this whole time. Not exactly, I said. The words came easier now, the mountain's knowledge flowing through me. The mountain doesn't raise the dead. It catches echoes. When someone dies in these mountains, really dies, with strong emotion, with unfinished business, they leave an impression, a possibility. The mountain collects those possibilities and makes them real again. For a while.
Everybody can go.
Yeah,
For
man.
how long?
You and I.
Dale
man,
asked through his hands.
this up me and her
Until you
alone.
fade completely.
Just me and
Until
her.
the memory of
But
who
see,
you were
the camping
dissolves.
now, more everybody
Or
every
until
girl,
someone
everybody
new
do
sits in this
drink,
chair
our
and
little
holds you
vibe and
here.
little- our little energy, so
So
You
you're
know what I
keeping
mean?
us alive?
Yeah.
Garrett
yeah,
said.
little style.
I'm keeping you real, I corrected.
So this
There's a
perfect.
difference.
This one look perfect.
Caleb had been quiet, but now he spoke. I've been here longer than any of them. 3 years, I said.
You want cover
But I was
eyes,
lying.
isn't it?
It's been longer, much longer.
Perfect.
I can feel it now. The mountain pulled me
Yo,
back so many
police in there, police
times,
in there.
put me in so many groups, let me fade and reformed me again.
Morning, kick off the door and come in.
I'm not even Caleb
I say the
anymore.
year, say we are thief.
I'm just the shape of him.
See? Put
Why?
head back round them, around me and sit.
Ruby looked at her brother.
See?
Why would it keep doing that? Because it worked, I said. The mountain's thoughts becoming my own.
No, no, I'm not.
You keep trying to save him. Every group that comes through, someone sacrifices themselves to keep the others real, to give them more time. The mountain feeds on that, on the love, the sacrifice, the desperate hope that if you just follow the rules, everyone can survive. That's evil, Dale said. It's lonely, I replied. It doesn't understand what it's doing is cruel. It just knows that when people are here, it feels less empty, less like nothing. It wants to matter to someone. Wayne stood up and walked to the table. He placed his hands flat on the surface and looked directly at me. How do we break the cycle? How do we actually leave? I felt the answer form, pulled from the depths of the mountain's consciousness. Someone has to remember. Someone has to hold on to the truth of what happened, really hold it, accept it completely, and carry it back to the real world. But the mountain will fight you. It will try to make you forget. It will offer you new memories, better lives, chances to undo your deaths. Who has to remember? Ruby asked.
Yeah, we need some
All of you, I said, together. If even one of you forgets, if even one of you accepts the false memories and decides to stay, the cycle continues. And if we all remember, Garrett pressed, then you wake up. The word hung in the air. Wake up where? Dale asked. I saw it then, through the mountain's eyes. Hospital rooms, morgues, funeral homes, bodies lying in various states of preservation or decay, depending on how long each person had been gone. Your real bodies, I said. The mountain has been keeping them in a kind of stasis, not alive, but not gone either, suspended between. If you can hold on to the truth long enough, you can return to them. But you'll have to fight through everything the mountain throws at you to make you stay. What about you? Ruby asked. If we leave, what happens to you? I felt the answer settle into my bones, becoming part of my new reality. I stay. That's the deal I made. I anchor you long enough to get out, and then I become permanent. I join all the others in this chair, watching, waiting, keeping the next group real when they arrive. No, Ruby said firmly. We're not leaving you behind. You don't have a choice, I said. The mountain's voice was stronger now, pushing through my words. The terms are set. One must remain. One must watch. One must remember forever. Wayne looked at the others. If Jamie's giving us this chance, we can't waste it. We have to try. How do we start? Garrett asked. Say it out loud, I told them. Say what happened to you. Accept it. Make it real in your own voice. Ruby went first, her voice shaking but determined. My name is Ruby Morrison. I died on Roan Mountain 3 years ago. I fell from a cliff trying to save my brother. My body is in Boone Cemetery. Wayne followed. My name is Wayne Sullivan.
I'm gonna show it though.
I died of hypothermia on the Appalachian Trail in October 2022. My body was found near the Natahala Outdoor Center. Dale took a breath. My name is Dale Hutchins. I died in a car accident on Highway 321 on New Year's Eve. My body is... He choked on words. My body was cremated. My ashes were scattered at Linville Falls. Garrett finished. My name is Garrett Boone. I died of sudden cardiac arrest on Grandfather Mountain 6 months ago. My body was buried in blowing rock. The cabin shuddered. The lights flickered wildly. Outside, the fog began to pulse with that red color again. It's fighting back, I said. Keep going. Remember everything. Every detail of your deaths. Don't let it seduce you with false memories. Caleb stood. My name is Caleb Morrison. I died on Roan Mountain 3 years ago trying to save my sister. But I've been here longer than that. I've been here for... He paused, his face contorting with effort. I've been here for 19 years. I was the first one the mountain took, the first echo it learned to hold. I need to let go. I need to fade. Caleb, no. Ruby reached for him. But Caleb was already becoming transparent, just as I had before sitting in the chair. This is how it ends for me. I've held on too long. I've kept too many people trapped trying to save me. Let me go, Ruby. Let me finally rest. I can't, she sobbed. You have to, Caleb said. His smile was genuine now, peaceful. Tell Mom and Dad I'm sorry. Tell them I loved them. Tell them. He faded completely, just gone, like he'd never been there at all. Ruby screamed, a sound of pure grief that made the cabin walls crack. The mountain roared in response and the floor began to tilt. The floor wasn't tilting. The cabin was sinking. I felt it through my connection to the mountain, felt the structure trying to pull itself deeper into the earth, trying to bury them here forever. Get out, I said, my voice booming with power I didn't want. Now, while you still can. But the doors had sealed themselves. No handles, no hinges, just smooth wood where exits used to be. Wayne threw his shoulder against what had been the front door. The impact made no sound. It was like hitting solid stone. The windows, Garrett said, running to one. But the glass had become something else. Not transparent anymore, just blank gray surfaces that absorbed his punches without cracking. It won't let us leave, Dale said. It's keeping us. No, I said, pulling against the chair. But I couldn't stand. My body had merged with the wood, roots growing from my legs into the floor. I made a deal. It has to honor it. The mountain's laughter echoed through the cabin. Not cruel, almost playful. Like a child refusing to let go of a favorite toy. The deal was they remember, the mountain's voice said through my mouth. But one of them has already forgotten. I looked at the 4 remaining people. Ruby, Wayne, Dale, Garrett. All of them staring back at me with expressions I couldn't quite read. Who? I asked. Ruby stepped forward. Jamie, you need to let us out. We'll figure it out from the other side. But something in her voice was wrong. Too calm. Too accepting. Ruby, I said carefully, tell me again how you died. I fell from Roan Mountain, she said. But her eyes had gone distant. Or... No, that was a nightmare I had. I've been having these nightmares lately, about falling. But I'm fine. I'm here with my friends on a weekend trip. We're having fun, right?
No,
I said desperately. Ruby, listen to me. That wasn't a nightmare. That was real. You died. You and Caleb both died. Caleb's been gone a long time. Ruby said, smiling now. A dreamy, peaceful smile that terrified me. He moved to California years ago. We don't talk much anymore, but that's okay. I have you guys. The mountain had her. It had rewritten her memories while I watched, slipping in false histories so smoothly she couldn't tell the difference. Wayne, Dale, Garrett, I said urgently. You have to remember. All of you.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Engage and
Say
propose.
how you died.
You know you set me up, cousin.
Wayne opened his mouth, closed it. There was snow. I remember snow, but I'm not sure. Was I hiking? Or was I just cold one day?
Yes.
Memory gets fuzzy sometimes.
Alright.
You froze to death on the Appalachian Trail, I said. October 2022.
Inside.
Hypothermia. They found you 3 weeks later.
First door.
Wayne's face scrunched up, like he was trying to grab onto something slipping away. That sounds right. But also, I remember graduating last spring from App State. I remember my apartment in Boone. I remember... He grabbed his head. Which one is real? The death is real. I insisted. The apartment is what the mountain gave you. It's fake. It's bait. Dale had started crying again. I don't want to be dead. I want to go home. I want to see my mom. Your mom buried you, I said, hating myself for the words. January 7th. Your whole family was there. No, Dale said. No, I just talked to her last week. She called to remind me to bring my allergy medicine on this trip. She worries about my tree pollen allergies. The mountain was winning. I could feel it pulling them deeper into false comfort, offering them versions of themselves that hadn't died, hadn't ended, could keep living. Only Garrett still looked lucid. He stood apart from the others, hands clenched into fists, eyes squeezed shut. Garrett, I said, you're the only one still fighting. You have to anchor them. I'm trying, he said through gritted teeth, but it's so tempting. I can feel it offering me things, a second chance, a life where my heart doesn't give out, where I get to grow old, get married, have kids, everything I never got to do. It's lying, I said. That's not a second chance. That's a cage made of wishes. I know, Garrett said. But God, Jamie, I want it anyway. The cabin lurched again, and I realized what was happening. The mountain was preparing to reset completely, to wipe everyone's memory and start the cycle over. Ruby would forget she had a brother named Caleb. Wayne would forget he ever died. Dale would remember a mother who was probably still grieving him, and Garrett would accept the beautiful lie being offered. Unless I did something. I looked down at myself, at the roots growing through my legs, the stone spreading across my skin, the chair that had become part of my body. I was the anchor. I was the thing holding this reality together. But what if I let go? Jamie, don't, a voice said. Thomas Prather's voice, coming from somewhere deep in the chair. From the other anchors snapped beneath me. If you let go, you'll collapse into nothing. You'll cease to exist completely, not even an echo. But they'll wake up, I said, right? If there's no anchor, the mountain can't hold them. Maybe, Thomas said. Or maybe you all fade together. There's no way to know. I looked at Ruby, who was humming now. Some song she probably thought she remembered from childhood. At Wayne, whose memories were becoming a blur. At Dale, who'd started setting the table for a dinner we'd never eat. At Garrett, who was still fighting but losing ground with every second. I'm sorry, I said to Thomas, to all the others trapped in this chair.
Are you Japan by, cousin?
I'm sorry for what I'm about to do. Then I pulled.
Alright, do your thing,
Not
do
with
your
my
thing.
body.
Alright, man.
That was gone, merged with wood and stone. I pulled with whatever was left of my will, myself, the core of who Jamie had been before the mountain took me. The roots tore. It felt like ripping my own bones out. The cabin screamed, a sound that was part wind, part cracking timber, part something older and more primal. I kept pulling. The chair splintered beneath me. I felt Thomas Prather's presence dissolve, released after years of holding on. Felt the others go with him. Decades of trapped souls finally let go. And I felt myself starting to unravel. The cabin began to collapse. Not physically. The walls stayed standing. But the reality of it was breaking down. The furniture became translucent. The ceiling showed stars that shouldn't be visible. The floor turned to mist. "Run!" I managed to say, my voice fracturing. "Garrett, grab them and run. Don't look back. Don't stop. Remember what killed you. Remember all the way home." Garrett's eyes snapped open. He grabbed Ruby's hand, then Wayne's. "Dale, move. Now." Dale stumbled forward, and Garrett caught him too. The doors reappeared, unlocked, swinging open to reveal not fog, but darkness. Pure, empty darkness. "That's the way out," I said, feeling myself scatter like leaves in wind. "Through the nothing, back to your bodies. But you have to remember, all four of you, if even one forgets, you'll all be trapped in that darkness forever." "What about you?" Garrett asked. "I'm already gone," I said. And it was true. I could see through my own hands now, see through my chest to the broken chair behind me. This is my end. But it doesn't have to be yours. Ruby suddenly focused, her eyes clearing. "Jamie? What's happening?" "You're remembering," I said, relief flooding through me. "Hold on to it. Don't let go." Wayne blinked, swayed. The snow. The cold. I remember. I died in the snow. "Yes," I said. "Hold that, all of you." Dale was crying, but he nodded. The ice. The crash. I remember. "Good," I said. "Now run." Garrett pulled them toward the door, toward the darkness. "Thank you," he said, looking back at me one last time. "Thank you for the sacrifice." "Just wake up," I told him. "That's all the thanks I need. Wake up and live." They stepped into the darkness. The cabin collapsed fully then, folding in on itself like paper being crumpled. The mountain's presence receded, confused, angry, but ultimately unable to hold on without an anchor. I felt myself dissolving completely. No pain, no fear. Just a sense of finally letting go. My last thought wasn't of the cabin or the mountain or the rules. It was of the four of them, somewhere in the darkness, holding on to each other and their terrible truths, fighting their way back to bodies they'd left behind, and hoping, knowing, that they would make it. Then I was nothing. Nothing at all. Just the memory of someone who had briefly been real enough to matter. The first thing I heard was beeping. Steady, rhythmic. A heart monitor. The first thing I felt was pain. Not the dissolving, scattering pain of becoming nothing, but real, physical pain. My chest hurt. My throat hurt. Everything hurt in a way that meant I had a body again. I opened my eyes. Hospital room. White ceiling. Fluorescent lights that made my head pound. A nurse noticed me immediately and called for a doctor. "Jamie Chem, can you hear me?" the doctor asked, shining a light in my eyes. "You've been in a coma for 6 days. You were found at the bottom of a ravine near the Blue Ridge Parkway. A ranger spotted your car on a routine patrol. 6 days, not years. Not a maternity in a cabin, but 8 people. The others, I managed to croak out. Ruby, Wayne, Dale, Garrett. The doctor exchanged a glance with the nurse. There was no one else in your car. You were traveling alone according to the rental agreement. My heart sank. They hadn't made it. They were still trapped, or they'd faded, or...
Young Mel!
But,
No, boy,
the doctor
my father.
continued, there's been
Mad.
something strange happening. 4 other people woke up in hospitals across North Carolina over the past 3 days. All of them had been declared dead,
Right now.
some for years.
Gonna go there, go get a trouble.
Bodies in morgues, cremated remains, buried coffins,
No, boy, my
except
father.
now they're alive. The medical community is calling it a miracle. The media is going crazy.
Oh, they must say no. Alright.
Hope flickered.
Yo, over.
Their
you know what I'm saying?
names:
They must say yeah.
Ruby Morrison,
Someone said
Wayne
no.
Sullivan, Dale Hutchins, and Garrett Boone. I started crying. Relief so overwhelming I couldn't breathe.
Oh, I said no.
The doctor stepped back,
Yo, you say they must.
concerned.
Hey, you say they must
Should
say
I?
no.
They're okay,
And by the time
I
we
sobbed.
reach.
They
I'll
remembered.
be here.
They made it
No,
back.
it's not.
After they
oh, yeah, no,
stabilized
Mr.
me,
So.
after the tests and questions and
badness.
confused authorities, they let me have visitors. Ruby came first, looking
Eh?
thin but alive, real, breathing. She hugged me and didn't let go for a long time.
Wait,
You
hey.
did it, she
Hey,
whispered.
baby.
You broke the cycle.
What's up?
When we woke up, we remembered everything.
Outside the house.
We
Huh?
told the rangers about the
So we
cabin.
left in
They
an
found it,
argument, so
or what was
I
left of it.
telling you.
Just a
Oh,
collapsed
okay.
foundation.
It's okay, it's alright, baby.
But they also found something else.
Sure you're alright, alright?
She pulled out her
Yeah.
phone and showed me a
I'm
news
your
article.
sister.
Which
Remains
What?
found in Appalachian
It's a
Woods
clothing
after
store. I
miraculous
continue to know,
recoveries.
but maybe once you hear this story,
The rangers had discovered
why
dozens
y'all
of
gonna have
bodies
to
in the
stay there
area
with me, 'cause
surrounding
one
where
is
the cabin
wicked.
had been.
Yeah, I know.
Missing
must-
hikers going back decades.
Why?
Thomas
Come listen.
Prather.
Wait.
Names I
Where the hoes
recognized
are
from the
from,
missing person flyers.
Alright, messing is.
Names I had felt dissolve when I broke the chair. They're finally getting proper burials, Ruby said.
You see?
Their families finally have closure.
You
gave
say
them
no
that.
Jerk and John with that. At
Oh.
least-
The 4 of
at
us
least we
recovered
can say
together
we
over
never
the following
bring it
weeks.
direct to nobody.
Physical therapy,
Oh, come down,
psychiatric
that's
evaluations that we
bread,
navigated carefully, leaving out the parts about mountain consciousness and sacrificial chairs.
I bring her to get some
Our
food,
story
everything.
became, we'd all been in the same
Food, now I
accident,
bring her to get.
all found in the ravine
Yeah,
together.
man. Anything
Medical
I did down
miracle.
There, I didn't know about
Grateful to be
it. Who's
alive.
down there? I don't know who's
Eventually, they released us. Wayne organized a reunion dinner at a restaurant in Boone. Neutral ground, nowhere near the mountains. Just the 4 of us, he said. A celebration of survival.
No,
I arrived early, still walking with a slight
no, I'm a
limp
girl
from my
now.
injuries.
I gone to bed now.
But when I got to the table,
That's why I say after
there
I
were
did.
6 people
I
waiting.
don't know, dog. I don't know.
Ruby, Wayne,
running on my dreams,
Dale,
bro.
and Garrett. I recognized them immediately.
Yeah.
But there were 2 others. A man and a woman I'd never seen before. Jamie! Ruby stood up smiling. You remember Marcus and Sarah, right?
Yeah.
From our study abroad program? I didn't. I've never studied abroad. Marcus extended his hand.
Okay.
Good to see you again, man. Feels like forever since Barcelona. I shook his hand automatically, my mouth dry. Yeah, Barcelona. Sarah was already pulling out a chair for me. Not any chair, but the one at the head of the table. Here, birthday person sits at the head. Those are the rules. It's not my birthday, I said. Sure it is, Garrett said, looking at his phone. October 11th. That's today. We even got you a cake. October 11th was my birthday, but they shouldn't know that. We'd never discussed birthdays in the cabin.
Jerk and jump shit.
I looked at the chair Sarah was offering, at the place setting in front of it, at the way everyone was staring at me with expectant smiles. Behind them, in the corner of the restaurant, I noticed an 8th chair.
You
Empty.
shoot a gal.
No place setting.
Shoot that. But I thought
Just
I
waiting.
thought she
What?
shot Diamond. Diamond
Come
is,
on,
Diamond
Jamie,
is hurt.
Wayne said.
Shut Diamond.
Sit down. We've been waiting for you. Their eyes were too bright. Their smiles too
No, not
wide.
she. Somebody shoot
And in the
Diamond.
reflection of the window
No,
behind them,
Oh my
I
God.
saw not 6 people, but something else.
Now come.
Where's
now come.
Brad? Where's Brad?
Something
Where's
vast
Brad?
and patient, wearing their faces like
Can I say
masks.
woman get hurt?
Woman
The
get
mountain
hurt.
had found a new way to
Yes.
collect.
Which car? Which car? Which car? Which car? Gunshot! Gunshot!
Alright, we are forward.
Alright.